What's going on YouTube? In this video, we're going to cover the basics of OBS. I'm also going to show you some stuff you probably didn't know existed. There are several different types of OBS. You have the OBS Studio, you have obs.live and Streamlabs OBS. obs.live is built with StreamElements and Streamlabs OBS is obviously built by Streamlabs. I use obs.live because I use StreamElements. There's a lot more versatility built into the StreamElements platform, so I utilize that tool. It's also not bogged down by a lot of stuff like the Streamlabs OBS application is. I highly suggest getting away from Streamlabs OBS if you can, but if you need all the tools on there, it's totally understandable. What you'll see on my screen in this video is the obs.live. Keep in mind, you can do the same exact thing that I do in this video in every single one of the applications. It just might look a little bit different. With that being said, let's jump over to OBS and start the tutorial. When you open OBS for the first time, it'll look something like this. The only thing I've added to it is a display capture and my microphone source, as you can see down below. The first thing I want to cover is the navigation. So we're going to take a look at the menus at the top left, and we're going to highlight some important features that you need to know about when using OBS. The first menu option we're going to take a look at is the file. If you go ahead and open the file there at the top left, the first option you'll see is show recordings. This will take you to where the file location of your recordings is being saved to. It's a nice way to quickly access the videos that you're recording within OBS. The most important thing within the file tab here is the Remux recordings. If you record something in a file format that your video editing software won't accept, you can actually remux that recording to an MP4 file using the built-in OBS remuxing system. Lastly, you can take a look at the settings folder and profile folder and the settings for OBS, or you can access those settings from the bottom right here under the controls. Next, we're going to cover the things contained within the edit tab. So if you go ahead and click on that, what you'll see is a copy, paste, reference and paste duplicate, copy filters, paste filters, transform, order, preview scaling, lock preview, and advanced audio properties. This tab is actually very important. There's a lot of cool things built into this tab. We're going to highlight the transform, order, and lock preview. We'll cover the advanced audio properties later. When transforming an object on the screen in OBS, you can click on the dots here and slide around the transform. If you hold on shift, it will actually change the scale of that image that you're adjusting. Now, if we adjust it like this and then go over to the edit tab, go to transform and click the fit to screen, it will fit that image back into the window. You can also quickly do things like rotating the image 90 degrees and then rotating it again to get it back to fit. If you need to quickly rotate something 90 degrees, say you pick up an image offline and you need it facing horizontally instead of vertically, you can do things like this using the transform under the edit tab. You can easily adjust the layers of your scene by adjusting them under the sources down below. If you grab this display capture and put it on top of the microphone, that means that display capture is being processed on top of the microphone. If the microphone was an image, you wouldn't be able to see the image behind the display capture unless the display capture was smaller than that image. Or you can go to your edit, go to order, and move up and down using these keybinds or clicking these buttons here. It's an easy way to adjust the order of sources on your scenes. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about the lock preview under the edit tab. This is a very useful tool if you don't want to make any adjustments to the actual preview. Sometimes this accidentally happens when you're moving through scenes and stuff like that. You can quickly lock the preview that way so you can't make any adjustments to this. It will stay in that position. The next thing I wanted to cover is the view. View is where you're going to find all the useful docs and tools that pop up on OBS. There are tons of useful docs that you might not even be aware of. When I say a doc, I'm referring to the things that you see on your screen there, like scenes, sources, the audio mixer, the scene transitions. Those are all docs. Some of the docs that I utilize are the stats. The stats will give you accurate information regarding how much disk space you have available, the CPU usage, the FPS of your recording. It will also tell you skipped frames due to encoding or skipped frames due to rendering. That will be useful for adjusting the bitrate and recording settings when you're streaming or recording a video in the future. And then you also have stats about the output via drop frames over the network, so on and so forth. Very useful information. Something else that's cool in the View tab is the full screen interface. If you click on that or hit the keybind F11, it will remove the windowed portion. It just makes the application full screen if that's something you're into. The profile and scene collection are both extremely useful tools in OBS, and I don't see a lot of people utilizing them. Under the profile tab, what you will see is a way to save the settings that you have set up in OBS so that you can quickly load up settings that you need. It also is a great way to utilize different settings on different scene collections. Your scene collection is going to be a collection of all the scenes within OBS. If you're like me and you do YouTube recording and live streaming, you need different scene collections, one for YouTube, one for live streaming, containing different video files and picture files, different webcam frames and stuff like that. So you can save a live streaming scene collection and a YouTube scene collection so that you can quickly load up the scene collection that you need. The next thing I wanted to discuss is adjusting the docks and then also enabling and disabling the preview within OBS. So if you're doing a recording like I'm doing in this video, you don't accidentally record mirrored windows like I did at the beginning of this video. What you have to do is right click and untoggle the enable preview. A question that I get pretty often is the audio mixer layout I use is a vertical layout instead of the horizontal layout. The way that you do this is right click within the audio mixer and simply change it to a vertical layout. Something else that's pretty cool with these docks is you can move them around to situate them to where you would like them. So if I wanted this audio mixer over here on the left, I could quickly move it over there like so. Or if I wanted my scenes in between the sources and the stats, or if I wanted to stack the scenes on top of the stats, I can do so like this. This will create a tab to where I can access the statistics, but it's not taking up space on the docked windows down below. The next thing I wanted to cover are some useful settings for you to know when using OBS for the first time. So let's go ahead and open the settings. The first place we're gonna look is at the advanced tab actually. Something that people aren't using frequently is a full color range. In the advanced tab, under the video section here, what you'll see is a color range section. Make sure this is not on partial and it is on full. You'll also want to change the color space to 709. Next, we're going to take a look at the video. Now, with the video section, you have your base canvas resolution, which is going to be your desktop resolution minus 1080p. The output resolution is going to be the scaled version of that resolution. So if you keep it at 1080p, it's obviously not getting scaled, but if you record in 720p, that's going to be downscaled to 720p. When recording, you want to use a downscale filter of Lanczos, the Lanczos. I think it's Lanczos. When live streaming, you want to utilize the bicubic downscale filter. The next thing we're going to take a look at is the audio. What you'll notice is I have every single one of my audio devices disabled. I do this because I set up audio devices manually within the sources. The reason I suggest doing this is because you can put certain audio sources on certain scenes that you need those sources on. If that was confusing, what I'm saying is you might have a live stream where you have your microphone audio, game audio, and music playing, but you might have an intermission scene where you don't want the game audio playing, so you remove the game audio source from that scene, and you can do so by creating audio capture devices. The next thing I wanted to look at is the output tab. The output tab will have an output mode of simple or advanced. What you're seeing in front of your screen now is an advanced output mode. It is defaulted to simple. I suggest switching it to advanced. First, we're going to take a look at the audio tab. The tracks within the audio tab are defaulted at 160 bitrate. If you hit that drop down menu, you can actually change the bitrate of each audio track to 320 bitrate. This will improve the audio quality for each audio track. If you take a look at the recording tab, you will have a type there. I believe the type default is simple, I'm not sure, but I use the custom output FFmpeg. Using the custom output FFmpeg, we're able to customize the way the recordings are made. I highly suggest doing some research on customizing the output of the recording tab. I will not include that in this video. I will be making a video on this in the future. Lastly, we're going to look at the streaming tab. This is where you can adjust the encoder for live streaming, the amount of audio tracks that will be output in the live stream. This will also be a place you can change the rate control, the bit rate, the preset, the profile, the GPU. Something that's very important is you don't want to have look ahead or psychovisual tuning turned on with live streaming. So you want to make sure both of these down here are toggled off. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. It will be defaulted with the psychovisual tuning on, so go ahead and make sure you have that turned off. That is going to be all the settings that I will cover in this video. The last thing I want to discuss is setting up a scene for yourself to go ahead and start live streaming. So first, what you'll need is some tools in order for you to be able to stream. You'll need a webcam frame if you have a webcam, and then also some alerts that you can use so when someone follows or subscribes to you, a nice alert pops up, adding some excitement to the stream. If you join my Discord server, in the downloads section of that server, I actually have this webcam frame and this color changing effect available for you within that Discord. If you want to, go ahead and grab this webcam and the color changing effect, and we'll throw it in OBS to see what it looks like. So what we're going to do after you've downloaded the webcam and color changing effect is we're going to get in StreamElements and upload both of those files into a scene and create a full scene that we can utilize in OBS. So go ahead and go to StreamElements.com. Once you've logged into StreamElements, what we're going to do is go to My Overlays, and you're going to create a blank overlay. Go ahead and make that resolution 1080p. All right, and what you're gonna see on your screen is a blank screen, nothing's on it. So what we need to do is go up here to the insert here. We're going to insert an image to this scene. The image we're going to set to that webcam frame, which is right here. Go ahead and upload, make sure you upload this image to StreamElements. I'm going to go ahead and select that webcam frame. First thing you wanna do is scale this up quite a bit and then center it on the screen. Make sure you don't cut anything off of that webcam frame. Next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and create a widget. The widget we're gonna add is an alert box. This will be followers, subscribers, so on and so forth. For this widget, what we're going to upload is the webcam frame with the color changing effects. First and foremost, go ahead and align this directly on top of that webcam frame that's there. Once you've got it aligned, what we're gonna do is go to the follow alert, hit the settings wheel, hit the X on this, clear the sound, and we're going to change that video. The video we're going to upload is the webcam color changing effect. Go ahead and submit that. Next, we're going to change the layout to text over image. We're going to delete the text. We're going to make the alert duration 10 seconds, and we're going to save this. What we're going to save it to is stream overlay. Go ahead and save. Now we want to emulate a follower event. So hover over this little notification bell down here and go to emulate follower event. What you will see is that webcam frame pop up. What we need to do is make sure it is covering the previous webcam frame. So we need to make sure it is fitting directly on top of that webcam frame that we have there already. You can use your arrow keys to adjust this to make it fit perfectly. Take your time here and make sure it is perfectly fit on top of that previous webcam frame. All right, I'm going to emulate it once again. That's just about perfect. It might need to be actually just a little bit smaller. Go ahead and slide this over. Once you have it perfectly on top of the other webcam frame, you will have a follower alert. We want to go ahead and add this color changing effect to each alert type. So go ahead and hit the X out of here and do the same thing for the subscriber, tip, cheer, post, raid, and purchase alerts. All right, and now I have everything uploaded. I want to show you guys what I have loaded up for this webcam frame. I will share this file so you can upload it into OBS for yourself to use, this exact file here. If we emulate a follower event, this is what will happen. A kunai knife will be thrown into the webcam frame, a nice color change effect will happen, and a nice text font will be displayed above there. So what we need to do in order to get this in OBS is we need to hit this launch button, copy this overlay link, go back to OBS. We're going to create a new source. We're going to create a browser source. We're going to change this to webcam overlay, hit OK, and paste that URL into this URL section. I'm also going to change the width to 920. I'm also going to change the height to 1080. The next thing I want to do is shut down source when it's not available, and then I'm going to hit OK. If I enable this preview, what you're going to see on the screen is that webcam overlay. I'm going to move it over and situate it where I want it. Once I have it in a position that I like, I'm going to go ahead and emulate a follower event. If you do this again, emulate follower event, go back to OBS, you should see this popping up in the OBS scene. I'm sorry for all the layered images. There's a sound effect built in there as well, and it looks really good. The next thing you need to do when setting this up is obviously put your webcam behind the webcam frame. In order to set up a webcam frame, what we'll do is hit plus on the sources here. We're going to add a video capture source. I'm going to change this to webcam and hit OK. Next, we're going to find that webcam within the settings here. What's up, guys? We need to make some changes. The resolution needs to be custom. We're going to change that resolution to 1080p. That way I fit in the entirety of the screen. Next, you can change the FPS to go highest FPS. Video format, you want to go ahead and make sure that's MJPEG if you're using the C920 like I am. The color space, again, you want to change it to 709, and you want to make sure it is a full color range. The buffering, you want to disable the buffering and go ahead and hit OK on that. Now, I'm going to scale this down. I'm also going to move in the sources here. I'm going to move the webcam behind the webcam overlay, and I'm going to move my webcam behind the webcam frame. Then I'm going to adjust it until it fits within that space. Perfect. Now I have my webcam behind my webcam frame, and I'm ready to start streaming. I want you to do something really cool first before we continue. If you hold down on Control and click the webcam and webcam overlay, right click it and go to Group Selected Items, you can group these items together and create a webcam group. Then you can downsize that and you can lock this group in place so that you can't move it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. This concludes the OBS guide for beginners. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this. And if you're interested in funding this channel and funding my Discord server, check out my Patreon.
Francois Patreon comes with Discord raid, an exclusive Discord help channel, along with the Francois Studios sticker and early access to YouTube videos. Patreon.com/TheFrancois, starting at $3.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Peace.